goodness. Yep. Well, I like it. Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that, Gabe.
Your mom would like it.
Yeah. Same color as my shoes.
Welcome to season 2 of our YouTube channel. I am so excited you guys are with us. This whole year is going to have so many different videos and episodes that are all going to be interesting and fun. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Okay, I'm very excited about this topic. It's very timely, important for right now. So I'm Andrea. My brother Ben is manning the grill for us for our tailgate with our special guest, Tom Bergman, former program manager of the Tier 2 program for the Oklahoma DEQ. I am so happy you are here. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, I'm glad you're going to feed me. Thank you.
We have to thank Ben.
Well, thank Ben.
Is there a way
welcome,
you'd like
sir.
your burger?
Yeah, Ben, make sure that's medium, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So we're going to talk about the Tier 2 program in kind of a broad kind of way. So for this particular program, which we could kind of go for a long time if we talked about Tier 2, but we're going to focus on the oil and gas industry. This is what Ben and I do. And then we will really kind of keep it as like vaguely talking about the Tier 2 program, but of course everything's different in each state. So since you're the expert, and I've learned everything that I've learned from you. So I just want to say that, a trailblazer in what you do, a trailblazer in the Tier 2 program. Everything that I've done, all of the Tier 2 reporting that we do for clients, I've learned through you. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, so since you're the expert, we're going to ask you questions, okay?
Okay.
So here we go. First of all, I mean, I run across a lot of operators who don't even know what a Tier 2 report is. So let's start there. What is a Tier 2 report?
So a Tier 2 report is also known as a hazardous chemical inventory report, and it was initialized by Congress in 1986 so that the first responders, primarily firefighters, and the emergency services people would have a database of where hazardous substances reside in their community, so that if they had a chance to do some planning for those or responding to those materials, they would know where they are.
Excellent. Okay, so deadline. There's a filing period here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's that filing period?
The reports according to the federal legislation, so the state does not have any control over this.
Okay.
It's part of the federal bill. So in every state, they're due on March the 1st. And you're reporting for the previous year, sort of like you do your taxes. Your taxes are due by
That's a great
April
way to put it.
15th, but you're not talking about the money you're making now, you're talking about the money you made last year. So a Tier 2 report reflects the hazardous materials that you had last year.
Okay, so a lot of people, so if we know what one is, and we have to, how does an operator know oil and gas? How do they know if they even fall under this? I mean, how do they even know if they have to comply with this law and file a Tier 2 report?
Most oil and gas operators must file a Tier 2 report in all of the 50 states and actually the 6 territories too. So it's a federal national program. The threshold is 10,000 pounds, and sometimes I'll say that to an operator and their eyes roll back in their head and go, I don't know what you're talking about.
How does that equate to me?
I don't measure oil in
Nobody measures
pounds.
it in pounds.
So,
a pumper would be like, what?
Right. So you boil it all down,
Sure.
you come up with 42 barrels.
Okay.
And almost everyone has 42 barrels, and it only has to be present on your site for any 24-hour period. So even if you've got a stripper well and it's doing a couple barrels a day, eventually your tank battery's going to have more than the 42 barrels for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Therefore, they all get caught. So another little litmus test you can apply is, do you need to do or are you required to do an SPCC report? And if you have to do an SPCC report, you'll probably have to do a Tier 2 report.
And they actually go more hand in hand now than ever before. And one of the newest things coming out right now is that the EPA is asking to see that Tier 2 submission receipt in an EPA audit. And I've already come across that this year so far, where I've had to email them that PDF of that Tier 2 submission receipt that you get once you file. So of any time, this is almost the most critical time to make sure you're getting this done.
So every state has to have an office or staff that manage their part of receiving the Tier 2 report. And if you do an internet search, typically an easy way to do it is, let's say I'm looking for Arkansas. Type in Arkansas EPCRA, EPCRA, or Arkansas Tier 2 report, and that should get you to the correct people,
to
the correct state office.
And then step 2 is really putting in that information about your facility. So what would be some of the things that they're going to have to know about their facility to do this?
Yes, you will get a login password in Oklahoma. She will vouch for this. Our system is one of the most simplistic in America.
Awesome.
I'm president of the National Association, so I know how every state does it.
It's so easy.
Ours is the easiest.
It is so easy. I love it.
We have one and only one person who can even generate an account. That's it. And when I stopped doing it, I gave it to my successor, Matt Wormus, and he can generate an account for you in like 15 seconds.
It's so fast. I'll ask him for it, and literally 20 minutes later, I go back, check my email, and I have it. So it's really easy.
Actually, the information required comes from the original federal legislation. So the states don't have any control over the information contained on the report, other than some states added their own requirements.
Oh, yes.
Some states have additional, but the basic information falls into 3 sections, if you will. Where are you? And where are you in the oil and gas business is like, I'm the Smith 131H, and I'm in the southwest and the northwest of Section 36, Township 7 North, Range 3 East.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't work very well in today's world. That's how the initial program. So all states require a latitude and longitude coordinate. And most of them aren't real picky. If you can just get us, within a couple hundred yards, we're fine with
Sometimes
that.
that's what we do.
We got a lot of tools now to help you do that. So the first section is, where am I? We need to know where you're at. Second section is, who am I? And since this is a program designed or intended for emergency responders and planners, there are 3 who am I's. One is who owns it, and that usually is a company name. And then number 2, who do we contact if there's an emergency? And you say, well, I don't know, I don't have very many emergencies at my tank battery. Well, but you might.
Yeah.
And that's the point. You might have a grass fire go through there, range fire, you might have an ice storm. Okay. There are all kinds of things that could result in first responders perhaps needing to contact someone. And so you have to have the owner, the emergency contact, and then the person who's submitting, if you will, or creating the information. Well, where am I? Who am I? Third section is, what do I have? And for oil and gas operators, that's a fairly simplistic, what do I have? In most states that I've dealt with through the years, and we started doing this in like 1992, we allowed oil and gas operators to simply collate whatever they have into a single entry called produced hydrocarbons. And whenever we see that, or the firefighter sees that, or the emergency manager sees that, we all know what that means.
We've made
tried
this
real hard.
Where oil and gas operators have an easy and simple way to comply. There really is no reason you don't. There
Yeah,
just really isn't.
hopefully not.
It really isn't. And even if you go to some other states, you know, they're gonna have different ways to do it. But you can get to it. You can figure it out. It's not meant to be rocket science.
Right.
They want you to comply. They want you to tell them where there's at, so that when people go out and respond, you know,
Right.
they're nobody's caught off guard. Everybody needs to know what's out there. Tom, thank you so much.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate you for coming out here and being with us.
Anytime, and
Tailgating.
for those folks who might remember me from the past, seriously, I retired, but I didn't die. And if you want to get in touch with me about this
We'll
or
do it.
anything
Yeah,
else,
absolutely.
I'm happy to do it. But I'd recommend you talk to my successor.
And Matt's great.
Matt's great.
Matt is great.
Yeah.
We'll bug Matt first.
Sure.
I might bug you, but maybe we'll bug
I'm
Matt first.
always glad to
Ben,
help.
how are those burgers?
Yeah.
Tom,
I'm
could I
hungry.
interest you into maybe considering a bologna sandwich?
Those look a little
Well.
done, Ben.
I might take a rain check on that, Ben.
Thanks. Okay, guys. Well, don't follow our burger making skills, but do follow our tier 2 advice that we've given you. Please let us know if you have any questions and subscribe to our channel so more fun videos can come out. Thanks, guys, so much. And thank you, Tom.
I hope we're not giving instructions on how to make burgers.
We're not.
Okay, good.